Picture it. A lion, low in the grass. A saber-toothed cat, silent, patient. Claws built to end you before you even hear them coming. Something your ancestors had to survive, night after night, just to see another sunrise. That fear was real. Those animals were real. We have the bones to prove it. But those bones are hiding something almost nobody talks about. The predators we can see in the fossil record, the ones that left teeth marks, crushed bone, torn skulls, might not be the ones that actually killed the most people. A leopard punches holes clean through a skull. A crocodile shatters bone like it's nothing. But some killers leave nothing behind. No mark, no trace, no proof they were ever there at all. So which animal was really the deadliest? The trail starts in 1949 with a fragment of skull pulled from Swartkrans cave in South Africa. An early hominin, a heavy-jawed cousin of ours from a branch of the family tree that didn't make it. They call it SK54. Near the back of the skull, 2 deep punctures, close together, almost too precise, almost deliberate. At first, the theory was chilling. Murder. One early hominin killing another with a sharpened bone or horn. It matched the prevailing image of our ancestors, brutal, killing each other in the dark with crude weapons. Then paleontologist C.K. Brain did something that changed everything. He picked up the fossilized jaw of a leopard found in that same cave and held it up against the wounds. The spacing matched with remarkable precision. Not a weapon, a bite. A leopard had clamped its jaws around the skull, either during the attack or while carrying the body away afterward. We may never know for certain which, but one thing became brutally clear. Our ancestors weren't always the hunters. Sometimes they were the meal. And the leopard wasn't the only thing in the dark. A quarry near Taung, South Africa. Workers uncover the skull of a child, 3, maybe 4 years old. Australopithecus africanus. For decades, nobody could explain the damage around its eyes. Then paleoanthropologist Lee Berger looked closer. He compared the wounds to something specific, the damage patterns left by modern crowned eagles, birds that snatch monkeys straight out of the canopy, carry them off still living, and tear into the eye sockets to reach the brain. The match was close enough to make a large bird of prey one of the leading explanations. If that reconstruction is right, the danger didn't come through the grass, it came from above. So, a leopard that seizes a skull, an eagle that may have dropped out of a clear sky and taken a child. It's tempting right here to declare a winner, whichever predator is biggest, scariest, most efficient at killing. But that entire theory collapses the second you stop staring at one skull and start looking at the whole brutal span of human history. Because here's the problem nobody wants to admit. The fossil record lies by omission. Picture 100 deaths. One person killed by a leopard, teeth through bone, preserved for 1 million years. Another taken by a crocodile, crushed, sunk, fossilized near the water's edge. But the others? Snakebite, infected wounds, parasites, disease, carried in on the back of an insect too small to notice. Gone. No trace, nothing. Thousands of years later, we dig up the leopard bite. We dig up the crocodile kill. And we call it the story. It isn't. It's just the only part of the story that happened to survive. A lion writes its name into the skeleton. A mosquito never does. You may have heard that malaria killed half of everyone who ever lived. That number has no reliable foundation. We don't have death records for deep prehistory, and mobile hunter-gatherers didn't face the same disease environment as the farming settlements that came later. But the larger point remains. Invisible infections could kill without ever leaving a recognizable mark on bone. The greatest threat to your ancestors depended entirely on where they lived. River's edge, open grassland, deep forest, or high mountain pass. And that changes the question completely. So, what actually killed the most ancient humans? We don't know. No fossil collection tracks every death that ever happened. Most of them left nothing to find. SK54 shows that early hominins sometimes ended up in the jaws of leopards. The Taung Child suggests eagles may have taken the young. Real threats, all of them. But were they bigger killers than disease working silently inside a body for days before it gave out? There's no way to know. Not really. Not ever. The honest answer is that no animal can be crowned the winner. The evidence is simply biased toward predators that damaged bone. Your ancestors were vigilant. They watched the tree line. They listened for movement in the grass. They kept the children close, and the fire burning all night long. All of that worked, against the threats they could see. But evolution never gave them a warning system for what they couldn't see at all. A mosquito landing silently on an ankle in the dark. A parasite slips into the bloodstream unnoticed. An infection starting small, inside a wound nobody thought twice about. A leopard signs its work into bone. An eagle leaves a mark around the eyes. But whatever caused the greatest number of deaths may have left absolutely nothing behind. Not because it was rare, because it was invisible. We know exactly what hunted your ancestors. We may never know what actually killed the most of them.